last year you were a guest star. This year you're season regular.
That's right.
Are there any differences already?
You fail upwards, right? What was it?
Are there any differences now that you're full time?
Just in like my life?
Yeah, your life.
I live in Vancouver now, and that's great. We're still in the portion of the year where it hasn't really started raining yet, so now it's great. I'm there with my girlfriend, and she says, "Oh, I love it so much," and I'm like, "Remember this, because it's going to start raining for 100 days very soon." But it's great. Yeah, I'm having such a great time on set, and so super happy to be there.
Yeah. So Brainy's from the future, and he's now more or less in the dark ages of technology.
That's right.
Are we going to have some struggles with Brainy and getting 21st century technology?
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be a learning curve for him. We saw a bit of it in season 3, and he's not fully acclimated to the 21st century yet, so there are some things that he just won't understand why they can't. That's the kind of general theme of the character, is that he's too smart for his own good. And so getting used to the 21st century is definitely a theme that we explore in season 4.
So one of my biggest ships in comics is Supergirl and Brainiac-5. It's been one of my biggest ships for decades.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that develop a little bit this season?
I don't think that it's our number one thing that we're trying to show in season 4. I don't think that Brainiac-5 exists solely to be a love interest for Supergirl. I don't think that he exists solely to replace Mon-El or solely to replace Winn. I think Brainiac-5 is just his own man in and of itself. But who knows what would happen. I don't think that Supergirl really is in a place right now where she's like looking for a new love interest, and I don't think that's something that we're pushing, at least not anytime soon.
So what's it like trying to bring emotion, kind of piggybacking a little bit, emotional depth to a character that's not an organic life form? Like, how do you kind of mix those two together?
I take offense to that. I have feelings.
I didn't say you didn't. I said you weren't an organic life form.
That's true. But my body is organic. It's just an artificial intelligence. He may not be so adept in accessing and using all his emotions to the way they're supposed to be used, but he definitely experiences feelings, and but they're feelings that are based off logic. It's logical for me to be scared in this moment, so I'm going to be scared. It's logical for me to be angry, so I'm going to be angry, and that's kind of how he explores his emotions.
And what do you draw on to kind of bring those feelings out in a way that's real for Brainiac?
Well, I have to say that like we saw at the end of season 3 with what was going on in the future, he was scared. Brainiac-5 was scared about the fate of his future, and anytime you're messing with the time stream and timelines, like the repercussions of that are heavy. And so I think he was very stressed about what was happening, and it was a big source of stress for him. And so I think now that he almost had to take himself out of the picture because he can't help in the future right now because of the fact that AI it's not a safe place for them. He's kind of let his friends kind of, go and take care of the future, and he's kind of in a safe place in the past right now. What he thinks is a safe time that he could hide in, but what he'll come to learn is that it's maybe not as safe as he thought.
And what can you tell us about this next season? We know that a second Melissa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're going to be doing. It's not like a direct, obviously. It's just like our interpretation of like a red son or red daughter storyline. Our own little twist on it. That's, all I really know about the other Melissa floating around there. It's confusing because they're both on set at the same time. I never know who's who, which one do I shoot. But yeah, it's I really don't even know. I can tell you, but we're learning bit by bit through. Like in the first, we even see her. Look, we've only really read 4 episodes now, and we touch in with that little by little. So it's something that I think is going to develop throughout the season.
So what's been your experience with Brainiac-5 and the comic books, and do you apply any of that to your character?
Absolutely. I have been doing so much research. I read every Legion comic I can. I watch every cartoon. I've watched all the Legion of Superheroes cartoon. Any mention of Brainiac-5, I'm like, I try to just bury my nose inside of the book and learn everything I can from it. And then I pick and choose from certain things what I like, about this version of the character and what I like about that. And I try to, throw it in a blender and kind of make my own interpretation of what I'm reading in the comics.
So in the print versions, which has been your favorite?
There is a version, I'm forgetting the name, is it Legion? It's the one with the cover where he's like this on the cover. You know what I'm talking about?
Mark Waid's.
Is it Mark Waid's version?
The 3-boot is what it is known as.
Right. It's when they were like, it's like a book, I'm blanking on the name right now, but they were like, kind of like gathering all these new kids to join the Legion, and I don't know. There's just something. He's like really arrogant, but it kind of comes off funny, and I mean, I can't really say that there's a certain favorite version of mine. I love. There's one moment in one of the comics where there's all these different Brainies in the same room together. There's like post-0 hour Brainy, and then this Brainy and that Brainy, and they're all there in a room together, and they're all arguing with each other. That's my goal for the Supergirl series, is that at some point we reach an episode where there's a scene where there's like 6 Brainies in one room all making fun of each other's hair.
I have to grab some really quick.
Yep.
But we'll be right back.
What was it?
The backstory for Brainy.
Yeah.
We're gonna learn more this season.
I really hope so. I've been having really long conversations with Robert and Jessica about his origin story and what I want to see from it. They have their own. Everyone's got their own idea, but I think that his origin story is crucial to the character. So I have these long conversations with him about it. All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, where were we?
Talking about his origin. Yeah, it's not something that we've explored yet, but I definitely hope that at some point we get to see, maybe a teenage Brainy on Calloo, or who knows? Who knows? I don't want to say what I want yet, because maybe it won't be the case. But I definitely think that at some point we will explore the origins of Brainiac 5.
What about the evolution of Brainiac? Because now you're on Earth, and Wynn is gone, and so we've got a shift of. So where's the role going to go in terms of his role in the team?
I think there's a general attitude that Brainy has been in the past, where he's kind of like, hey, don't really worry about it. It all kind of works out in the end. He knows he's in the past, and he's kind of like, feels like he's safe here, and you guys are all stressing out about all these problems you guys are having, but for him, he thinks, listen, none of you guys die or anything, so it's all cool.
Spoiler alert.
Right, exactly. He's like a walking spoiler alert. And I think something that he's going to come to learn is that there's a difference between knowing history and experiencing history firsthand. And with all like the rising anti-alien sentiment going on in National City, and in kind of mirrors what's happening in our country and in the world right now, he's going to realize, what it feels like to be discriminated against, rather than just reading something in a history book about what happened during this time. So it's going to change him, and what he thinks being an alien on Earth in the 21st century means.
Sorry, we have one more question.
Are Brainy and Lena gonna have a bro ship?
Yeah. Yes, I hope so. And yes. Yeah, definitely. I think Brainiac definitely respects Lena's intelligence. He's a little surprised at first, and now in these coming episodes, he starts to really realize that There's something about this Lena. She knows what she's talking about, and so they kind of go off with each other and start, you know, figuring some scientific stuff out. Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You were wonderful.
All right. Nice meeting you guys.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.
Okay.
Oh, nice Legion shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So
I made it myself.